There was a groundbreaking show that started in the early 70s called All in the Family. And I was in college at the time, and we would all gather at our friend's house, or apartment actually, off campus, where we could watch it. And it was quite the show. I mean, and that and Saturday Night Live started then too. And so we would all gather around, and that show, a lot of you are probably too young to remember, but it had Archie, a guy named Archie Bunker. His wife's name was Edith, and he was the bigot. His son-in-law was like a hippie, and but anyway, he had this recurring thing that he spoke to his wife whenever she said something that he did not disagree with, or she was overstepping what he thought her bounds were. He would say, "Edith, stifle yourself." And that phrase has been echoing in my ears all morning, stifle yourself. And at the time we laughed because we thought at the time, yes, that's our parents' generation. The women then were taught to stifle themselves, and she did. She would be quiet and do what he asked, but always in a more knowing way. And we laughed and thought, yeah, we're not going to be like that. And then I started realizing that in a lot of ways, my generation was actually worse. We kind of were caught in the middle of, okay, yes, that's the way you be a good wife, is to stifle yourself. But the other thing is, oh yes, the women's lib was coming along, and you still had to stifle yourself. You had to stifle yourself to be this kind of feminist and do this and do that. And so there was no room to just really be you. And then compounded with, after doing counseling these many years, where, I deal with a lot of people who, the motto in their family was children should be seen and not heard. That's major stifling. And then I have realized over the years as well, my parents were ill. My father was quite older when he actually had kids and was, ill. And so we had to be quiet at home. We had to we had to stifle ourselves. So the reason for this little YouTube is that you need to look at the hidden earworms, the hidden messages that go through your mind, and not just your mind, but your heart, but even your being. And that is one of stifling yourself. However it comes up, it doesn't have to be those exact words. I thought those were very prophetic words at the time, and even more so now. It's something we've all been taught to do, not just women, is to stifle ourselves, to stifle the real you, and we give people the virtual us. So if you find yourself with those kind of earworms or those kind of behaviors that you notice, ask Lord to show you what that is, what's going on, and then just simply to bring it to death on the cross and bring to life and resurrect the real you, the you He created you to be, and there's no one in the history of the universe that's ever going to be like you. So try it. And for God's sake, don't stifle yourselves.